Right. Good morning, students. There was a problem with my Zoom account. Therefore, I will record this lesson and send it to you. Please refer. Right. I have sent past paper questions regarding operating system last week. I will first discuss that questions. Right. Consider the given diagram. Diagram is given. Right. Given example, each for hardware applications of can like where. So there is hardware X is there, then the application software is there, then liveware. So what are the hardware? So we can write anything like RAM, hard disk, motherboard, uh, then CD-ROM, right? All are we can write as hardware, right? RAM, motherboard, hard disk, like that. Those are hardwares, right? Hardware is okay. RAM, motherboard, hard disk, right? Then application software. So we can write any application software. What are the application softwares? Application softwares. So we can write as word processing. Word processing software, PowerPoint software, gaming softwares, right? So there are a lot of application softwares. We can write any one of these things for application softwares, right? Then important part is liveware. What is the meaning of liveware? So it is in the outer circle. Liveware after application software, there is liveware. What's the meaning of liveware? Liveware means the users of the computers. We call it as liveware. Live users. Live users, we call it as liveware. Right? Hardware, software, liveware. Liveware means the users. Users of the computer, we call it as liveware. That's it, right? Application software, hardware, and liveware. Users of the computers are liveware. We call it as liveware. Right. I did write down one component represented by X. What is X? After hardware, there is X. We can understand that X is system software, system software. X is system software. After hardware, there is system software. Can you remember? What are the system softwares? It can be operating system, it can be utility software, it can be language translators. We can write one of these things. X is X is system software. It does that identify and write down one components. There are three components: operating system, utility software, operating system, utility, and language translators. Those are the components of system software, right? The following diagram shows the interaction between the user and computer system. Identify matching terms for labels A, B, and C. The diagram from the following list, write down the label and corresponding term. So they have given the list: hardware, application software, operating system software, liveware, right? So we have to write A and B and C. User directly interact with what? User directly interacting with oh, application software. So therefore, A is application software, right? Then after application software, we know that there is operating system. B is operating system, right? C, what is C? C is for hardware. Finally, we know that final one is hardware. Therefore, C is hardware. C is hardware. User, application software, operating system, and hardware, right? So those are A and B and C, right? Amara wants to create a folder or directory, right? What is the meaning of folder and why it is given directory in brackets? So normally in Windows operating system we have folders, but Linux operating system we don't have folders, we have directories. That's why they mention it in uh, within brackets. It can be a folder or either it can be a directory, right? So Amara wants to create a folder or directory structure to store files methodically in his computer. Amara. He wants to separate folder for his study related files. Separate folder for study related files. Sorry. Study related files. There should be separate folder. And under that, there are two subjects, maths and science. Right? Files of the subjects, maths and science. He also wants to store all his music files separate folder for music files. He further wants to store all photos that he has taken in 2018 and 2019. So there should be a photo folder. Under that, there are 2 years, right? So those are the things we can get from this paragraph. So we have write A, B, and C, and D, and E. Right? What is A? It mentioned study related file. There should be a separate folder. We have given 2019 music, photos, science, and studies. Studies, yes, they are. Therefore, A is studies. A is studies. Mention කරලා තියෙනවා studies වල වෙනම folder එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා. Under that folder, there is maths folder. So therefore, B is science. B should be science. B should be science. Right? He also want to store. That's right. හරි. ඊළඟට කියලා දෙනවා අපි මේකට යන්න. 2018 it has given 2019. Under what? Photo folder should be there, right? So here this is photo folder. Under that, there are 2 years, 2018 and this is 2019. E is 2019. What is C then? Right? He also wants to store all his music for with files separate. Music folder should be there. Therefore, C is music. That is how Amara created this file structure, right? Created a file structure. Right? Carefully read the content and write down these answers. Okay. Then we go to fourth question. Following two diagram illustrates the types of files accessing methods. We have discussed that one. Write down the file accessing methods represented by A and B. What is A? A is sequential access. Sequential file access. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ෆයිල් එකේ contents ඔක්කොම එක ළඟ තියෙන. ඒ කියන්නේ sequentially අපිට access කරන්න පුළුවන්. So what is this B? This is random. Random access means file is not in order. The content of the file is here and there. Therefore, we have to access the file randomly, right? One is here, two is here, three is here, like that. This is random access file. Accessing method. Sequential and random access. The operating system identifies file types using extensions. So we know that extension is the method to identify file. What kind of file is this? Right? What is the file extension of PowerPoint file? PowerPoint file extension is what? .ppt. .ppt අපි generally මේවා පොඩක් දැනගෙන ඉන්නවා. .ppt. This is PowerPoint. What is the extension for Word file? Dot docx. Docx. Excel file. Dot xlsx. This is an Excel file. This is a Word file. This is a PowerPoint file. So those are the extensions. By knowing that extension, we can identify this is a Excel file. This is a document file, a Word document. This is a PowerPoint file, right? That is very important concept. File with extension. Right. Sixth one, there is very important software that runs on computer. It manages various resources of the computer. It also lets the users communicate with the computer. This particular software coordinates and fulfill the requirements of the all processors with respect to their central processing unit, memory, and storage needs. So it asks, what is the specific software referred to in the above paragraph? What is this software? It should be operating system. Why? It manages all the resources of the computer and it let us to communicate with the computer. It has the user, right? So that software is operating system. That software is operating system. Right? So answer is operating system. Give an example for this. What are the examples? We can write. The examples. Windows. For Macintosh. Or Apple Mac. Linux. Ubuntu. So there are a lot of operating systems. You can write one of these, right? So that is the answer for question number 6. Right. Arun is an O-level student. In addition to her studies, she writes essays that she submits to various newspapers. She has stored considerable number of MP3 files in her computer, right? In addition, many digital pictures that she has taken also stored on her computer. Her parents have also asked her to store all online payment receipt on her computer as well, right? So the uh, that is the paragraph given, right? Aruni is an O-level student. In addition to her studies, write essays that she submits to various newspapers. store considerable number of MP3 files, many digital pictures is stored, right? So there are hobbies. Now essay folder is given. Now she has another two hobbies. What is that? One is taking digital pictures and MP3 files. Therefore, the list is given. Uh, so one is to uh, hold MP3 files. So therefore, under the hobbies, there should be music folder. අපි මේ list එකෙන් තමයි අපි select කරන්න ඕනේ මේ folder name එක. There should be music folder then. To hold photos, there should be picture folder. Right. So now it said that there should be a separate folder to store the receipts of the bills. Receipts folder should be there. Finally, for her studies, there should be a separate folder. Studies. So this is the file structure of Aruni, right? This is the file structure. One practice Aruni can follow to avoid her hard disk becoming full. Aruniගේ hard disk එක full වෙනවට මොකක්ද solution එක දෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? So what is the practice? Write one practice. What is the practice? If there are unwanted files, she can delete those files permanently. Delete unwanted file permanently. Then hard disk space will be saved, right? So what is the another one we can take? So we can tell defragmentation of the hard disk. Defragmentation. What is defragmentation? Defragmentation means once we defragment the hard disk, the unallocated space will be saved, right? So the files are stored in here and there. So once the files come to same place, the more space will be there in the hard disk, right? So the hard disk will be very efficient then, right? So we can write down defragmentation as well to this answer. One is delete unwanted files. Second one is defragmented hard disk. Write one practice that Aruni could have followed to avoid losing data in the event of computer failure. What we can do? What we can do? We can back up the file. Aruni can back up her files. Why we need to back up? Once something happened to our original files, backup is there, then we can restore that backup. අපේ original files වලට මොන හරි වුණොත් damage එකක් අන්න අපි backup කරනවා. How we backup the files? We can store that files in external hard disk, in a pen drive, in a CD, right? Or else in a separate location of our hard disk as well. දැන් අපි හිතමු D එකේ අපේ folder එකක් තියෙනවා studies වලට. right? අපි ඒ folder එක original folder එක විතර තියාගෙන ඒකෙන් copy එකක් අපි E එකේ නැත්නම් D එකේම වෙන තැනක කියන්නේ location දෙකක අපි store කරලා තියාගන්න. මොකක් හරි එකකට වුණොත් එහෙම අනිත් එක backup එකක් විදිහට තියෙනවා. right? So that is the answer. We can backup files. Right? Question number 8. Raja powers on computer and type a document using word processing application. Then he shuts down his computer through operating system. Right? So we have to write the order. It has given BIOS, operating system, word processor. So what will happen once the computer starts, it will go to the BIOS link. Yeah. Right? So the BIOS is one is BIOS. Then it will run the operating system. Second one is OS. Then it will open the word processing. Again, it works with operating system. Then he should close the word processing, right? Close the word. Therefore, 3 is word processing. 3 is word processing. Finally, he shut down the computer. Before shutdown, word operating system is there, right? Operating system is working. So therefore, fourth one is OS again. Fourth one is OS. Right? BIOS, operating system, word processing, and operating system. So this is all about this question paper. So these are from past papers. Right. I want to tell you some important thing about this lesson, right? I told you that we have to defragment our hard disk after some period, right? So that reason is we defragment. Why we defragment? Right? In the hard disk, once you create a file, right? This file will be to this file. It will allocate some space in hard disk. Once we create the file එක අපි create කර ගමන් මෙයා මේකේ space එකක් allocate කර ගන්නවා hard disk එකේ allocate කරනවා මෙයාට මේ file එක. But after we add something to this file අපි මේකට file එක තව මොනවාරි add කරනවා. Right? තව මොනවාරි add කරනවා. Right? But in this space there is no remaining space to add this content. එතකොට මෙයා මෙතනින්ම නෙමෙයි මේක location එකේ file එක add කරගන්නේ. It can be somewhere else. ඒතර මේක මෙයා add කරගන්නවා මෙන්න මේ හරි. Right? The content of the same file is here and there. hard disk එක දැන් තව මේක add කරනකොට එක වෙන තැනක store වෙනවා. Right? ඒ වගේ file එක අපි edit කරනකොට දැන් සමහර වෙලාවට මේ file එක අපි delete කරොත් මේ allocate කරපු locations වල ඒ allocation එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක වෙන් වෙලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි කාටවත් use කරන්න බෑ. That is the reason we have to defragment this one. When we defragment, all the content of the same file will be come to same location. එතකොට මේ ටිකක් එනවා මෙන්න මෙතෙන්ට. defragment කරාම මේ space එක free වෙනවා. එතකොට file access speed එක මොකද වෙන්නේ? වැඩි වෙනවා. මේ file එක access speed එක තනින් තන තියෙනකොට access speed එක මොකද? අඩුයි. ඒක file එක content වලට යන්න hard disk එකේ තනින් තනට යන්න ඕන. හැබැයි defragment කරාට පස්සේ එකම file එකේ content තියෙන එකම තැන. So therefore the file access speed will be high and the hard disk space will be utilized, right? So therefore we have to defragment uh, when we use the hard disk for a while. Let me after 6 months like that, right? මේක කරන්න වෙන්නේ Windows operating systems වල වල. Windows, right? So what will happen in Linux operating system? Linux operating system, right? So once we create a file, it will allocate a space this file, but not the same size as the file, original file. මොකද file එක create කර ගමන් මෙයා space එකක් allocate කර ගන්නවා. හැබැයි අපේ file එක මෙන්න මේ size. හරි? sorry. file එකට යන්නේ මේ ප්‍රමාණය. හැබැයි මෙයා තව වැඩිපුර space එකක් allocate කර ගන්න. මොකද තව content එකක් add වුණොත් එයා ඒ වැඩිපුර space එකේ ඔන්න add කර ගන්නවා මේ. right? තාම මේ file එකට තව ඉඩ තියෙනවා. So initially it will allocate more space when the file is created, right? Therefore, if there are some additions, it can again write that file in same location, adjacent to same location. So මේක මෙයා මෙහෙම add කරන්න. Adjacent to same location. Therefore, we do not need to defragment this hard disk, right? We don't need to defragment. Linux වල තමයි මේ facility එක තියෙන්නේ. Linux වල defragment කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ because of this reason, right? Remember that. This is very important, right? Linux වල no need to defragment. On defragment, right? Because of this reason. Okay, students, let's look at these questions. And if you have some questions regarding this lesson, let me know, right? So then we will discuss the next lesson by next year. Keep in mind these things. Why we defragment? Why we don't defragment in Linux? Right? Linux system is a little bit different. එයා ෆයිල් එක ක්‍රියේට් කරනකොටම එයාට වැඩිපුර ස්පේස් එකක් විල් කරනවා. හැබැයි මේකෙදි ෆයිල් එක ක්‍රියේට් කරනකොට ඒ ක්‍රියේට් කරන ස්පේස් එක විතරයි එයා ඇලොකේට් කරගන්නේ. ෆයිල් එක එඩිට් කරනවා නම් ෆයිල් එක තව ඇඩ් කරනවා නම් එයා ඒක ඇඩ් කරන්නේ වෙනම ලොකේෂන් එක. ඒ වගේ අපි ෆයිල් එක දැන් අපි කම්පියුටර් එකේ එක ෆයිල් එකක් කරන්නේ මෙන්න ගොඩාක් ෆයිල්ස් එනවා. ඒ නිසා හැම ෆයිල් එකම ෆයිල්ස් කන්ටෙන්ට් එක එක තැන්වල තියෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා when we access the files, it will take long time. So once we work with the computer with long time, right? All files are here and there. Therefore, we should defragment. After defragmentation, all the content of the same file will be come to same location. Therefore, access speed will be high, right? Okay, students, understood? Right. I'll share this video for you. Please go through it, and we'll discuss. I will start the next lesson by next week. Okay, students. Goodbye.